Grace and peace to one and all. I'm what you need. You're watching my channel. If you like what you're seeing, don't forget you can like, share, subscribe, and you can also donate via PayPal. The link, actually, ladies and gentlemen, is right in the chat section, as well as it's also in the description of this stream. The question: was weight a factor in the Haney versus Garcia fight? First, all praise to the Most High. The Most High always comes first. And we must always give all praise and thanks to the Most High, because without the Most High, we would not be here. If you want to be a guest on this program, click the link in the chat section. It will say, want to be a guest? StreamYard is at the top of the chat, so you'll have to scroll up. Having said that, let's get into it. Devin Haney versus Ryan Garcia. Man, what an upset it was. The upset of the decade, probably of the century. Ryan Garcia defeating Devin Haney. Ryan Garcia not making those 3 pounds, was that a factor in the fight? We already scored the fight, but I can always go through that with you guys as well. So let's get into that. Was weight a factor in this fight? Let me start off by playing this for you guys. This is Greg Hackett, my dude. Shout out to YSM Sports.
That does to a fighter mind. When you get hit with a shot like that and the crowd reacts like that, in your mind, I'm already.
All right, I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get it.
It would have been a lot tougher. But he kind of gave himself to Ryan.
Hold on a second. Let me get it.
But because he really went in there, kept it together, and fought. Got them. And he got stuck in between trying to try some shit instead of going with what he know. At the same time, there's a little bit of fear there because this motherfucker.
Hold on, I'm gonna get it.
Yeah. Even misweight. Hell of an actor. Yeah. Hell of an actor. Misweight by 3 pounds. Yeah. They still go ahead with the fight. Hindsight's 2020. Do you feel like that was a mistake? Do I feel like what? Letting him come in 3 pounds over it. And after the fact, Ryan said that he didn't want to come in under 143. So it was kind of like crazy as a fox, where though I'm gonna make you come down to 40. Right. I'm gonna come down to 143 and just toss you some extra brain. Right. So you saying, was it a mistake on Dev Bass? Was it a mistake on Dev and Bill's behalf to not make him try to run that off? Listen here. I've been in that situation where I came in over, right? And they give you the option. You might get an hour, you might get 2 hours, depending on where you at, to lose the weight, right? You ain't gotta go do nothing. You can go sit down and come back after an hour and weigh in, and whatever it is. They're gonna dock you. Now, a lot of fighters don't want to get the money taken away, so they gonna try to actually run that shit off. But the weight fighters is dropping this weight down, and they all burning themselves out trying to make the weight. They're not about to go do no extra work. We're not doing that. We doing what we doing. Listen, it's gonna be 1.5. We give you the 1.5. I'm saying this kid making a lot of money. Ryan probably made that as sponsors. You know what I'm saying? He probably paid that as sponsors, bro. He probably like, man, I made that shit. I'm gonna get this shit up. I mean, take the 1.5. Bill on the hood. Bill like, we definitely take the 1.5. And that's what I'm saying. Looking back at it. No, because was that the right decision? Because I'm gonna say this. I'm not gonna say it was wrong, because at the end of the day, you still gotta get in there and fight. The weight ain't had nothing to do with the game plan. The weight ain't had nothing to do with him getting caught with that shot. The weight that ain't had nothing to do with weight. That shot was open. When he threw that jab and he pulled that right hand back, and that hook slid in there, that ain't had nothing to do with weight. You know what I'm saying? The shot was there. You're gonna get caught with the shot regardless. So, I mean, I ain't gonna say it was a mistake. No, I wouldn't say that. Some people feel like the ref, say this respectfully. Yeah.
Okay, so Greg Hackett, he was saying, it still comes down to boxing skills and your defense. So weight wasn't going to be a factor in the fight. It wasn't a factor. All right. Now, Timothy Bradley, on the other hand, he said weight was a factor, as well as Antonio Tarver is going to do his Tarver's take on that and explain why he thinks weight is a factor as well. So you have different experts in the field of boxing having varied opinions. We're gonna break it down. We're gonna make you understand why I actually side with Timothy Bradley and Antonio Tarver in weight being a factor in this fight. But having said that, no excuses. Ryan won the fight. But first, before I go to that, I want to just go to this other. Uh, this is one of Devin Haney's trainers in Devin Haney's camp, and he's going to say his piece on the situation. But he's not going to use it as an excuse. He gives all credit to Ryan Garcia on winning the fight. They had a good game plan. Let me get to where it counts. Okay.
Think they'll take the loss to come back stronger than ever, or are they going to be something you get the battle with? No, we're going to make some changes, and we're going to try to improve on, what happened. Like Devin was fighting the guy way heavier than him. Didn't have to struggle. You know what I'm saying? That makes a big difference. So the biggest criticism that Devin gets by a lot of people is the lack of power, supposedly. Is that something you guys need to address, or is that? Well, not really. It was just people don't understand. When we went into this fight, we knew he had power. We knew he had that hook, and it showed. You know what I'm saying? He did what Tank did to him. Tank weight drained him and beat him, and he weight drained Devin and beat him. That's part of the game. We got to be more aware of what's going on instead of just going off this and that. See, every fighter have a plan, and like I say, their plan was the weight trainers. You know what I'm saying? I don't know where it came from, but that's what it did. Devin lost the weight, but I don't think it was lack of power. It was just once you get caught, it's hard because now you buzz, you working off.
Okay, let's talk about that. His one of his trainers is saying that Tank weight drained Ryan, and Ryan, in a very clever way, weight drained Devin Haney. Let me explain what he's saying. He's saying, like, to lose the last 3 pounds. Everybody knows this in boxing. To lose the last 3 pounds in boxing, sometimes it takes fighters to places they don't want to go. Like, they get really sick. You saw how Devin was. He was skin and bones, right? So you lose some of your strength. Even when you rehydrate back, you lose some of your strength and some of your power. That's why we have weight classes. So if you can make the weight class and you can make the weight, you will compromise some of what you would be if you were at a higher weight class where you're fully hydrated. But Ryan not losing that extra 3 pounds, he sort of weight drained Devin Haney because Devin Haney had to go through that. So as a result of that, Ryan was much more fresher of the two. Plus, he would have more power. Plus, Ryan Garcia is a huge guy. So that means he could rehydrate up to weights much higher. Whereas Devin Haney might be limited to 165, Ryan might blow right up to 180 something, which means Ryan gets the advantage in terms of strength, size, and power. And he used those attributes in the fight. Now, that was very smart on Ryan's part. And in a way, Ryan cleverly manipulated the situation. And Floyd was behind this. This is why Floyd was gloating. Blue Blood Sports PVs talked about how Floyd was gloating about this. But don't worry. All things come around in the circle. Floyd's behaving like this. But he gonna have there's gonna be a time when he gonna feel the pain. He gonna feel the pain because Floyd was diabolical in this whole thing. So they cleverly weight drained Devin Haney because Devin Haney had to do all that losing of weight to get down to 140, whereas Ryan didn't have to get down to 140. So the trick was Because Ryan didn't go down to 140 and Devin did, Devin was drained. Ryan was not, which was tricky. And then Ryan gets to rehydrate up to 180 pounds, whatever he was. And Devin obviously was the smaller of the two in the ring. So when they say, well, Devin can't hit and he don't got punching power, well, how did he stun Ryan in round 2? He got punching power. But it's like, let me see if I can make this simple for you guys. One guy weighs in under 140 pounds, meaning he's a junior welterweight. The other guy does not, which means he's a welterweight. So if we just put that into perspective, just the official weights, we're talking about a welterweight fighting a junior welterweight. That's what it equates to. Now people say, well, Floyd fought Canelo. Canelo was much bigger, 19 pounds bigger than Floyd. Canelo was weight drained. If you do remember, Canelo had to come down to 152. He was not allowed to fight at 154. Canelo was weight drained. Then they will go back and they'll say, oh, well, you know. Gary Haney is always much bigger than his opponents. But Devin Haney follows the rules. Devin Haney makes weight, which means the bigger you are, is the harder it is to come down and lose that weight. Right? But now if you cheat the system by saying, I'm not going to lose all that weight, I want to keep my strength and power. When you cheat the system and you're already big, that's where it's wrong. Ryan knew he was never going to make 140 pounds. He knew that. That was part of the game plan. He was talking about as if Devin Haney can't punch and stuff. He knows Devin Haney could punch. And the fact that Devin Haney even hurt him in the second round shows Devin Haney's got power. Okay? Because Ryan was the weight bully in that fight. That's why Ryan's hook hurt Devin Haney the way it is. And let me explain what I mean. By Ryan pulling this stunt last minute, Devin Haney didn't train for that. Follow me on this. Ryan knew all along he was not going to make 140 pounds. He was able to prepare through camp, train himself, toughen himself up, make him as strong as possible because he intended not to come in at 140. Devin Haney's under the illusion Ryan's going to make the 140-pound weight. He's training for a guy that's 140 pounds, or at least a guy that's drained down to 140 pounds. So he prepared for that. He prepared for a junior welterweight, in other words. Ryan comes in as a welterweight. Devin Haney's not prepared to face a welterweight. That's a last-minute change. They didn't have time. Him and Bill didn't have time to train for a guy who would come in that big. And yeah, you would say, well, he sparred big guys and stuff. Yeah, but he didn't train to toughen himself up for that. So when Ryan hit him with the first left hook and it stunned him, it's because Ryan was training as if he was a welterweight already. Devin Haney was training for a junior welterweight. So weight does matter because you have to have the punch resistance to deal with somebody that big with 8-ounce gloves. So Devin Haney was cheated up the opportunity to train completely for that. I'm not saying these guys don't spar guys much bigger than them to deal with power, but he was not ready for that. Now, I hear his trainer saying he didn't really recoup and stuff. He did recoup, and he recouped really quickly. Because after Ryan initially stunned him in round 1, Devin went on to sweep and then the next 5 rounds. Devin was the guy in control. He had a defensive lapse, and as a result of that, he got dropped. And after he got dropped, he surrendered rounds 9, 10, 11. 3 rounds in a row. Big time to Ryan Garcia because he abandoned his jab. He should have stayed with his jab. That was it. He can walk guys down. You can do whatever you want. But stay behind your jab. And Haney abandoned the jab for no reason other than Ryan had gotten in his head. and he wanted to get back Ryan. That was it. Ryan abandoned his jab because Devin Haney countered the jab. Even though Ryan countered Devin Haney's first jab, the first jab he had in the fight, Devin Haney stuck with the jab. He just mixed it up. He masked it. You know, he threw feints behind it, and then he threw his jab. That's how he was able to push Ryan back. Ryan couldn't push Haney back. So Ryan sat back and started to let Haney come to him. Okay? Ryan could only push Haney back when he was doing his flurries. Okay? Could Devin Haney have won the fight outside of that deficit? Yes, he could have. Okay? But whenever Ryan touched Haney, it had a dramatic impact on him. And Devin Haney wasn't planning for that. He hadn't prepared for that. Because he didn't expect Ryan to miss weight. Ryan had never done that in his career. And the portrayal was that Ryan was going to duck out the fight for whatever reason. So Devin Haney didn't want the fight called off. So they went with it. You know? But they played him. They played Devin. There are weight classes for a reason, ladies and gentlemen. But now with the narrative that Devin Haney don't have a chin and Devin Haney can't punch, I just wish Mateus and Teofimo Lopez and Pitbull Cruz and all the 140 pounders would now want to fight Devin Haney because he don't got a chin and he can't punch. So please, by all means, come true. I listened to one of Devin Haney's trainers say that they're not looking to face Ryan Garcia again next if there was a rematch put on the table. And I say, even if it's at 147, I'm saying if Ryan Garcia is open to facing Devin Haney at 147, do it again. Because them two will always give you an exciting fight. Somebody saying, well, Ryan will knock out Dev this time. No, he won't. He hit Dev with his best money shot, and Dev got up from it. He's not knocking out Dev, but Dev has to be more careful. You shouldn't be taking them shots like that, Dev. You're not like Superman. You know what I mean? Just because you were walking down Ryan doesn't mean he's not dangerous. You know what I mean? So Devin's tough. He's tough. You know what I mean? And Ryan can punch, but he couldn't stop Devin. Couldn't stop him. And the fight was close. So, sorry about the eating. How much you need? Was weight a factor in this fight? Yes, of course it was. You got a guy fighting one weight class up from the other fighter because he did not make weight. So he was a welterweight. Fighting a junior welterweight. On fight night, they ballooned up. One probably ballooned up to super middleweight, and the other one was probably a light heavyweight. Right? What I didn't understand was why Devin wasn't a lot more careful not to get hit with the left hook as Tank was. And why Devin didn't continue popping his jab. Why do you let Ryan get in your head like that? You know what I mean? But I see Mr. Floyd Mayweather gloating. And carrying on like a clown that he is. But what goes around comes around, Floyd. What goes around comes around. We see if you laughing or crying very soon. And if you're crying, you brought it on yourself. I'm what you need. Peace.